ask questions.
You were clearly not ready. That's okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. We're going to start in the very beginning of this episode. If you have any questions, please drop them below. We may or may not see them.
I don't know if it's below or if it's to the side.
Drop them somewhere. We'll see them, maybe.
Wherever it says write a comment, it's fine. See, so professional.
We are.
Oh, goodness. So tomorrow is Adopt a Shelter Pet Month. Day, not month. Day, I think. So, that's something that is certainly near and dear to all of our hearts here at Premier Pet Care. So we wanted to talk a little bit about that and why shelter pets are a fabulous choice. But we also realized that not everybody wants to adopt from a shelter for various reasons. So it's also important to be able to evaluate a breeder and tell if there's someone that's good and reputable versus some Joe Schmo on the Craigslist. So we had a couple text messages a few weeks ago from someone, we don't even know who it was, that they were considering a couple different puppies and they were asking questions about them and which one should they choose and all this. And so unfortunately it was pretty clear that at least one of those puppies was coming from a puppy mill. And in Missouri we have a lot of puppy mills. It's terrible. It's awful. Are you practicing your smiling?
So we actually have a guest today
that no one can see.
And she's watching us actually live. And she apparently, she was like,
oh, she's like stage momming you, like,
yeah,
smile.
Because I have a problem with my face. Sometimes I don't know what's happening with it. So I look really angry, but I'm actually just listening. And so you started talking about breeders and puppy mills, and I couldn't help but just smile. So,
because you tried to hide your anger about the puppy mills.
Well, yes, that too. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Goodness. So, tell us why people should adopt from a shelter.
Well,
what are all the benefits?
There's a lot of puppies in shelters.
Yes.
And for me, we were actually just talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with breeding more puppies. I think that if people would go to shelters, just pick one random shelter and walk through it and see how many puppies are there in the shelters. And you may be surprised at what you see, because a lot of people don't think that they're going to be able to find what they're looking for in a shelter.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of puppies there.
Yeah, puppies. Not even just, of course, adult animals.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's tons of puppies and kittens as well. But yeah, you can usually find what you're looking for, a good fit. So yeah, I think that's important to keep in mind, because too, there's a lot of upsides to that. Not just finding a home for an animal that needs one, but they typically come with a lot of their medical care done. At least they're up to date on everything.
Usually spayed and neutered.
Yes. Yeah. So, and for the cost of the adoption, shoot, that's a huge savings to the client as well. So I think that's something to consider.
It's usually pretty inexpensive to adopt a puppy, and they do come fully vetted, microchipped, usually up to date on vaccines, dewormings, first dose of heartworm, preventative. So it is a great savings. Plus, you're doing a great thing for those pets too, because I have several in my house that were rescued. 3 of my 5.
All of them, right?
Well, no. Sugar came from a...
Oh, but you just kind of like got her.
Yeah. And then
she came along with her.
with my husband. She came with my husband. And
kind of the same thing.
Yeah. And then my parents actually got my little dog, who came from a breeder.
Yeah.
But the other 3 were rescue. And I will tell you, there is nothing like the love that they will give you, especially adopting adult dog from a shelter.
Yeah.
Because they know how it was before. And they just are really appreciative.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
It is sweet.
But it just breaks my heart knowing that we're making more puppies when there's already so many in the shelters that don't have homes.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't get behind breeding, and I'm sorry for that. For everyone who...
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, pretty much.
Now, honestly, I think that there is a time for me. There is a place for breeders still, but I think it needs to be a reputable breeder. You know, not the person that's just like, oh, my dog's really nice, and I think that he or she should have puppies. That's no. You know, there's reputable breeders who actually care about the breed and do their best to promote, you know, healthy animals, because a lot of the purebred animals do come with health issues associated with that breed. And so good breeders will screen for those things, not breed the ones that are showing signs of that. You know, they actually, like I said, they care about the breed, and they're there to promote that and improve them. They'll also do things with them, like, you know, they're in showing, or, you know, maybe they're due, like the service animals, and that, you know, there's a purpose there for that. So rescue animals, you know, those animals are bred for a specific purpose that you might not necessarily, I mean, although I've heard stories that, you know, places have pulled like some little pit bull out of the shelter and taught him to be a drug sniffing dog, or, you know, things like that, which is so cool. I love that. Because there's so many pitties. But yeah, I think that there's time and place for it. But I think if you find a $50 puppy on Craigslist, that's probably not going to be a good life choice. Yeah. Those are going to be the ones that are going to come and have parvo and break your heart and just, you know, not be healthy. And you're supporting someone who is just looking to make a quick buck, unfortunately. So
and my mom always tells me, well, those puppies need homes too, which is true.
They do.
Yes, they do. But part of the problem is that you're contributing to that.
Yeah, so you're encouraging them to continue to breed.
So if you buy that puppy, then they're like, oh, well, I can make more money. Let me get some more puppies. Yeah. And I understand that they need homes too, but that's still a problem. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for me too, like I said, for the shelter animals, there's just so much that comes done already that people don't think about when they're purchasing a puppy from a breeder sometimes. I mean, I've had people come in here and they spend, you know, $1,000 on a new puppy, and then, oh, well, now we don't have money for their vaccines or their spay and their neuter, or, you know, heartworm prevention, all the things that you really need to be doing.
Because they expect that they're spending $1,000 on a puppy.
That they're done after that. Right. And that's not the case.
That they should have everything that they need. But most of the time when they get them, they're 8 weeks old, right? Which is a little early, but I mean, some people are 6 weeks. They get their puppies at 6 weeks, which is way too early. Yeah, way too early. But you know, even if the breeder wanted to do those vaccines, let's say that they were doing things appropriately, they can't get all of their vaccines by then. Right. You know, so
they need vaccines every 3 to 4 weeks until they're 16 weeks or older. Yeah, like that's just science. It's science. So you know, it's something to take into account when you're looking for a new pet. You know, what is the other medical care that's going to be needed, and what's going to be the cost involved, and factor that in, and make sure that I'm not knocking somebody spending $1,000 on a puppy, but make sure that you're able to then afford the medical care that pet needs.
Yeah, which we have wellness plans too. I'm just gonna throw that in there.
So that definitely helps too. You know, look into those sorts of things, and you know, it's for puppies and kittens, but also for adult animals. You know, we do have wellness plans that helps to spread that out, because we get it. You just dropped a lot of money on that new animal. Maybe you don't have the cash up front, but you're still, you know, wanting to provide everything for them. So, you know, wellness plans are a great way to do that. So it'll include their vaccines, it'll include their heartworm preventative, it includes fecals, it includes a ton of stuff, and we can certainly customize them for you too. If you get a rescue animal, if you get a rescue adult animal, and maybe they need their teeth done, that can be added onto the plan too. So we can really customize and tailor that, which is, I think, a huge help. Yeah. So yeah. So what are some ways that someone can tell if they're getting from a puppy mill? What are some signs?
So a lot of times they won't allow you to come and see where they're being kept. Yes. You know, they may not show you mom and dad. They'll try to meet you somewhere else other than their home. Yeah. which, I mean, some people are searching out different, like a specific breed. Mm-hmm. So it may be that you're traveling a few hours. So they're like, well, I'll meet you halfway or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's also to kind of keep them...
Yeah. They make it sound like they're doing you a favor.
Right.
Oh, we'll meet you halfway in the Walmart parking lot. And no. Take the extra time and go visit where the animals are kept. Make sure that you can see mom and dad, or at least mom, and see where she's living, see how the puppies are kept. You know, that's important.
Yeah.
For sure.
If they have multiple breeds that they're breeding.
Yeah.
So let's say they have Chihuahuas and Shih Tzus
could be cool, but like
and Malteses and Maltipoos.
When we look at some of these websites and they list like 9 different breeds, and then maybe 3 or 4 more that are mixes of don't purchase from them. Don't support that, please. Yeah. What else? What else is there?
Oh goodness. I don't know.
I mean, I think those are the big ones that are probably easiest for people, for clients and that to look out for sure. I would also really like to see that the puppies have been to a vet at least once for evaluation to make sure that they're good and healthy. I know a lot of breeders will do vaccines on their own, and it's not the end of the world as long as they're keeping up with it and doing them correctly and timing them right and using good products. But I think, it would be great if they could at least see a vet one time and just have been looked at and made sure they're healthy. They're not showing any genetic issues.
Because let me say, your breeder, 99% of the time, is not a veterinarian.
What?
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. But I will tell you, most of them are not veterinarians. Yeah. And even though they have been doing this for 20 years and think that they know
and they have a lot of knowledge.
Most of them. Not always.
They don't have a medical degree.
Right. So just because your breeder says that your puppy doesn't need leptospirosis vaccines, that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
It's based off of their lifestyle. So if your veterinarian thinks that your hunting dog needs a lepto vaccine, chances are they probably do.
Yeah.
And that's always up to you to decline if it's not something you want, but don't take your breeder's word for it because they're not always correct.
Yeah, what was that one? Sometimes there's some really interesting letters that come along with puppies.
A breeder told someone not to get the lepto vaccine because it will make the puppy's brain swell and they will die. We're like, that's not what we do here.
That's not true.
We don't just inject things to kill your puppy.
Why would we be giving that?
Right.
That's crazy talk.
Because people would find out eventually that we're just killing puppies with vaccines.
Yeah, it's so weird. There's all kinds of different creative letters that we see that I like to go through and highlight all the ridiculous things that I read. But I'm like, this is not true. That's not true. Don't do that.
Or not to give heartworm preventative. There was one that said not to give heartworm preventative because it's a scam.
Yeah.
And we're like,
okay.
But it's not.
But it's not. If you've ever seen an animal die from heartworms, you'll know that it's not a scam. Yeah. Craziness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the big things for me, to make sure you're not getting from a puppy mill is be able to see the home of where they were at, see at least the mom, meet the people, interact with the puppies, make sure that they're not, puppies are messy, but it should be relatively clean. It shouldn't look like there's 3 days of pee and poop, sitting around.
Which with puppies, I mean, it doesn't take long.
It doesn't take long,
to be
right?
A decent amount of poop everywhere, but yeah, I mean, it should be relatively
you'll be able to tell.
clean.
If you see them, you'll be able to tell the difference between normal puppy, we clean them twice a day or 3 times a day, but there's only so much you can do when you have a whole litter of them and they're stomping around. But yeah, you'll be able to tell the difference between that and something that's just not been taken care of. If it looks gross, it probably is gross.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's go. Tell me your adopted dog's name. Or did you want to go to something else?
No, that's fine.
Tell us about their love.
Their love?
Yeah.
Like the ones that I have now?
Sure, any of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So McMurray is the most recent addition. We went to a rescue in Colombia. It's called Unchained Melodies. What?
I was just thinking, this is the first one her husband's been able to pick in a while. Because she gives him a deadline.
Mm-hmm.
You have until whenever to get a puppy, and he never like follows it.
No.
So then she's like, my turn.
I told him, I was like, January 1st, if you don't pick, I'm picking. So that was McMurray. Henry Winkler came from the St. Peter's Pet Adoption Center. Loved them. I've done some work for them before, spaying and neutering shelter animals, and they suckered me in.
He looked like a little baby manatee.
Yeah, this little wrinkly gray manatee puppy, and then he came home with me. I also got Groot from there. So my cat came from there.
Keep going.
Ruger Allen.
Keep going.
Oh, my list. Ruger Allen came from Mutts and Stuff. Yeah, he has a little
love them
big-headed pitty thing. They're great.
Yeah.
They're a great group. Let's see. Walana was a rescue.
She was going on a
mission. I went and I met some guy that was trying to get rid of her, and I took her. So she wasn't directly from a rescue. I just
tell us that story.
No, I'm not gonna tell you that story. But I've also gotten my Great Dane that he had before. We got her as a puppy. She came from a rescue, so you can get Great Dane puppy from a rescue. My best girl was my Greta Louise. She came from the Humane Society off of, let's see, they're on Page, someone in Maryland Heights. She came from there. She was a year or two old when I got her. She was my best girl.
She was a sweet girl.
That's my best baby. But yeah, that's my crew.
Quite a pack you got there.
Well, I don't have all of them right now. Greta's no longer with us. Emma's no longer with the Great Dane's not with us anymore. It's just the pity kids, but yeah. Mhm.
And they love you.
I hope so. They better. I spoiled them rotten.
You do.
Yeah. Where have you gotten your kids from?
Well, Jace, who's my best boy.
Yeah.
I love him. He's such a turd. He's like the perfect mix. He's really, really smart, but he still likes to just kind of chill and hang around the house, which is great. He came from Stray Rescue in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. I got him, he was 10 to 12 months old, which I think is the perfect age to adopt a dog. I will never have another puppy unless my husband shows up with one,
with a puppy,
which I'm sure is coming in the future, just hopefully not anytime soon. I don't do puppies. They're cute. I love them to squeeze, but I do not have the time or the energy.
That's how I feel about children.
Well, that's fair. I agree. So he came from Stray Rescue, and the cat and my other dog, they came from a situation where there was just a lot of animals, and they weren't able to really take care of everyone appropriately, so I got the two of them from there. And then, well, my other two, my husband came with Sugar. She's a pit bull, all white. She came from a breeder. And then my parents got my long-haired Chihuahua from a breeder. Little Jaeger. He's such a turd. So yeah, that's my crew.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably all that we have today.
Yeah. No one asked any questions.
Nobody asked any questions. That's okay.
Yeah. I want someone to ask questions.
We can ramble on our own just fine.
I mean, we can, yes, but I want a question. I want to be able to share some knowledge with someone.
You share your knowledge with people every day.
Yeah. I don't know that they ask for it, though.
It's okay. All right. Well, we gotta get to appointments anyway.
Yeah, but this was like perfect timing.
Yeah, everyone have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you next week. Do the wave.